Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So I wanted to do this video a bit to talk about like how eating disorders make you very rigid in your thinking and like keeping things the same, because that is something I've struggled with a lot in the past, like not liking change. And I touched on it a bit in my last video about me really not liking change, and I think it's partly weaved into the eating disorder. And I think a lot of people with eating disorders like things the same. And I think, when you're trying to, do recovery, you need to kind of challenge that needing to keep everything the same. But it is something I find really difficult, and which I've noticed recently has started to creep back in. So I just thought I'd do a video on it. Because in the past, so really my kind of not liking change started really much when I was in my last admission in hospital, so back in like 2010, 2011. And I became very, very like obsessive about needing things in particular ways. I had to have all the furniture in my room in exactly the same position. If someone sat on a chair and then left, that chair would have to go back into the exact same position. I had stacks and stacks of newspapers and magazines because I couldn't get rid of them. Because for me, if I changed something, I was convinced that something bad would happen, and that bad thing that I thought would happen was that I would gain weight. And that was, it could have been anything. It was change anything, something bad will happen and I will gain weight. And when I was discharged from hospital, I had lots of new clothes that I could wear, but I couldn't actually wear any of them because I was scared that if I wore new clothes, that would be changing something and something bad would happen and I would gain weight. And, it was like that for years. There were times where I got, a new phone for my birthday and I couldn't start using it. It would be months and months down the line before I could start using my new phone because it was a change that I was scared of. Likewise with a watch, once I got a new watch for my birthday, and it wasn't until a year later that I started using it because I was scared of change. And eating disorders do make you like that. They make you very obsessive and very controlling, because like with controlling food, it's like your way of controlling. And for me to know that my furniture's in the right place, everything's staying the same, nothing's changing, it's like a safety and a security. But it's very, very restrictive, and it was not how I wanted to live my life. So with therapy I worked on those sorts of things a lot, and I got to the point where I could wear the new clothes, I could do new things. Yeah, I would occasionally still get the thought of, oh, I'm doing something different, something bad's going to happen because I'm changing something. But really, over the years, I've become much, much more flexible. And to be honest, it was hard, and it was much harder, initially. But as you start doing it, it's kind of like reminding yourself, yeah, okay, that is what I think. But the reality is, if I put on, a new pair of slippers, that is not going to cause me to gain weight. That is not going to cause something bad to happen. And it is just about, trying to remind yourself of the logic and the evidence base. Is there evidence that if I put on new slippers, something bad is going to happen? Probably not. And as I say, I worked on it a lot to get a lot better in changing things. But then I have found over the past year, probably with COVID really, that those thoughts of being scared to change have crept back in more. So for Christmas last year, so like Christmas in 2019, Christmas of 2019, I got a Spice Girls calendar. You can actually probably see it in the background there. See that Spice Girls calendar? It's still up on December. But yeah, so I got that Christmas of 2019 ready to use for the year of 2020, and I was like, this is the best Christmas present ever. I love the Spice Girls calendar. And then I put it up, and then I thought, oh my god, I've not had a Spice Girls calendar for probably 2 decades. This is something new. This means something bad will happen. And as I said before, like when I was in hospital and discharged, that bad thing that I thought would happen was weight gain. But over the years, that's kind of evolved, and, changing something and having something bad happen, that bad thing could be anything. That's how it's kind of developed. It's not just about weight for me now. Could be anything bad. And so with the Spice Girls calendar, I thought, oh my God, something bad's going to happen. And then also, New Year of 2019 going into 2020, my friend asked me to go around her house. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. And I went, I had a great time. But I've never ever done anything for New Year before. And then I got home, you know, the 1st of January 2020, and, you know, I was crying. I was distraught. I was like, I had a really good time, but I've never done anything for New Year before. And because I've done something different, it means something bad's going to happen. And, you know, it was so logical in my head. And then obviously we had 2020 with COVID. And I'm like, well, I told you, I've said to my mum, you know, I said something bad was going to happen. I had a Spice Girls calendar. I did something different on New Year's Eve. I said something bad would happen. And look, we've had COVID. And it sounds really, really stupid to say me having a Spice Girls calendar and going out for New Year's Eve caused COVID. I know that sounds so stupid when you say it out loud, but in my head, it makes perfect sense. It is like 1 + 1 = 2. There is, you know, I know it sounds illogical, but in my head, it all adds up. So yeah, and then thoughts like that have obviously crept in over the past year, and it has been quite difficult. And I think probably with COVID, and, you know, it's making us aware that actually what our coping mechanisms are. And obviously my coping mechanism is to keep everything the same, because that feels safe, and change feels scary because something bad could happen, whatever that bad thing is. But I don't want to go back down that route of being really, really stuck in not changing anything because I'm scared of something bad happening, even though I already feel I'm kind of in that mindset. So I really want to try and make a challenge to myself and to you out there, if you also have this same kind of logical but illogical thinking in your head that, you know, changing things causes something bad to happen. It is hard when we try and change. Like back in kind of September time, my mum brought me some new earrings, and I really, really like them, and I really, really want to wear them. But I've not been able to wear them because wearing new earrings would mean changing something and something bad happening. I did have like lucky earrings that I worn for years and years and years, and I had to take the earrings out for some surgery that I had in December 2020, and I've not put the earrings back in, even though they're my lucky earrings, because now I've not worn them for a while. I'm like, well, I can't put them back in because that would bring bad luck, but I can't put new earrings in because that would be new and that would be bad luck. But yeah, so I've got these earrings. You can't really see them very clearly, but they're tiny, they're little fairies, and I really want to wear them. And I'm like, well, they could become my lucky earrings. Not that I need lucky earrings, but, you know, but I'm scared to wear them because it's change. And I'm thinking, well, if I put those earrings in, something bad's going to happen. And I already caused COVID with having my Spice Girls calendar and going out for New Year, so God knows what's going to happen if I put new earrings in. But then I'm trying to say to myself, come on, Rebecca, you know, sit down and think about this. Is you wearing new earrings really going to, you know, cause catastrophe in the rest of the world? Was your Spice Girls calendar that's there, did that really cause COVID? No. And as I say, it makes so much sense in my brain, but it is about talking to yourself, and talking to yourself rationally and logically, and actually, you know, this is what your head thinks, so you have to do the opposite. So my head thinks that these earrings are going to bring bad luck, and as I say, I got these back in September, and it's, you know, end of January, and I've still not been able to wear them. But I don't want to be stuck in that. I don't want to be stuck, you know, in the same clothes, doing the same routines with my furniture and everything exactly the same for the rest of my life, because I'm scared of something bad happening, which is kind of developed from the eating disorder, because an eating disorder likes to be in control. So I am going to challenge this. I am going to put the earrings in, and I am really going to try and start, you know, again, not keeping to, you know, rigidity and allowing things to change. And it is about, you know, just talking to yourself and saying, this is how I feel, but what I feel isn't necessarily fact. And although I feel like something bad is going to happen because I've put a new scarf on, logic is that that is not true. So yeah, this was a bit of a rambling video, but it's just kind of something I've been experiencing a bit at the moment, and I just wanted to share in case, you know, anyone else felt like they had those same sorts of thoughts. But we can do it. We just have to challenge it, go with the anxiety, and remind ourselves of the evidence base. Thank you for watching my waffle. Please like, please subscribe, and please let me know if there's any videos you would like me to do.